All right, welcome to episode 4 of Why. Why? We've been asking those why questions, Neal, and it's been a great series. And I think the question today is probably one of my favorites to wrestle with, and it's why should I be involved in church? Now, I don't know about you, Neal, but I think I was a church member before I was even born.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And the crazy thing is nowadays going to church has been devalued, you know?
Yeah, and that's a heartbreaking part of looking at our culture, but certainly in our world and in what we're a part of, we want to just remind all of us of the value and the greatness. Really, the transformational power of God is found in His church.
Yeah,
And being
absolutely.
a part of it with His people and with all that goes on. And so I'd love for you to wrestle today with Acts 2. We've got a few verses there, and 41 through 47. And if you'll take a look at those verses and see what that early church looked like, because you want to get a picture of a growing and going and busting out church, there it is.
That's
in
it.
Acts 2.
Right.
So take a look at that and we'll come back. So point number 1 that you'll find on your on the screen there, one of the reasons we want to be involved is so that I stay focused on what's most important. And if you look here in verses 41 through 42, it says that they were devoted. And it's interesting, Neal, what they were devoted to, because I'm a football fan.
Yeah.
I'm a sports fan.
Yeah.
But the early church, those were not the areas of devotion.
No. And, nowadays there's so many things vying for that
That's
devotion.
right. Yeah.
And it makes it really tough for
It
us to
does.
decide. But
And even you and I wrestle with that with our kids. And
Yeah.
I'm sure if you're watching today, you're wrestling with what to be devoted to and what not to. But let me give you a list here, because this is the list of that early church.
Yeah.
It says they were devoted to teaching, apostles' teaching, to fellowship, to sharing with meals. Well, that's a good one to remember. Going out with people and eating dinner.
Yeah.
And then to the Lord's Supper and prayer. And I just think it's a reminder for all of us, almost like a priority list. Are these things valued in our family life or in my personal life?
yeah, that's so true. Because a lot of those things, I can tell you, they'll be the first thing you'll want to push down the list.
Right.
But what we see right here in Acts is that they should remain on the very, very top of the list.
And isn't it cool that the church helps us prioritize? Meaning, being a part of a church helps me line up the priorities of my life.
Right.
Yeah. So that's number 1, if you can take a look at that. Now, I just want to give you a question here to think about. In this passage, what are some things that we should be devoted to? I gave you the list earlier, but talk through some of those things that we should be devoted to. So point number 2, why should we be involved in church? So that I have strength to face life's challenges. I don't know about you, Neal, but there's been times in my life where I don't know how I would have made it through without the church and the people and faith and, just what I was able to receive.
Absolutely. In some of the toughest times of my life, the outpouring
Right.
from my church members
That's right.
helped lift me up, carry me through. And without them, I would have been completely and totally lost.
That's right. On the verses here, it says, and all the believers met together in one place and shared everything they had. And I think that's a picture just not only for the church, but just how great for our culture and our world to think that people are meeting together trying to figure out how to help each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a great picture. And for those of us a part of a church, we get to see that every week.
Every week.
It becomes a reality for us. And so I want you to just kind of wrestle with this question. What challenges have others helped you through? And maybe it's been in your church or at work or in your neighborhood, but what are some of the challenges you've gone through that others helped you through? We'll come back and talk about that here in just a moment. So point number 3 that we'll take a look at, why should I be involved in church? So that many of my deepest needs can be satisfied. And when we say that, Neal, it almost sounds like we come to church for our benefit and just for us. But in the story that we're looking at, these people gave everything.
Everything.
I mean, you're talking about generosity.
Right.
Here's generosity.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a calling to a sacrificial lifestyle.
That's right.
Instead of saying, what can I give? What do I have that the Lord can use to meet someone else's need?
Exactly. One of our greatest needs is to serve and to be a blessing to other people.
Yeah.
And it says here, they sold their property and possessions and they shared the money with those in need. I mean, you're talking about a group of people that gave it all.
Everything. Considered everything they had the Lord's, and allowed the Lord to use it to change lives.
That's right. Yeah, and we said this, I think, but the church is the hope of the world. I mean,
Yeah.
This is the center of God's activity in the world. And to be a part of something like this, we're bigger than ourselves, we're better than ourselves. And I don't know about you, but it's been a blessing in my life to be just so inextricably tied to the church and let it be a part of who I am and let me be a part of who it is. And so I think, for all of us, it's just a challenge to be involved in church and make it a priority of our life.
Yes.
So question at the end here, and just discuss what the church has meant to your life. What are some things that the church has meant to you, maybe your family, maybe for you in a personal situation. But again, this is the center of what God's doing in the world, and hopefully as you talk about this, you'll see that kind of flesh itself out. So we're in this series, Why? We're going to answer these tough questions, and why should I be involved in church? Hopefully you can get some clarification there, maybe even some renewed just vigor for what God's doing in the world through the church.
Yes.
Have a great week. We'll catch up with you soon.